So this week, Unity's Unite, which is Unity's most beloved event, have made a strategic comeback with some announcements to win back developers. The company is currently developing and testing out new AI tools for rapid maps and terrain creation to allow world creation and asset creation to be made easily. Fab from Epic Games is well on its way and has some interesting controversies. A mobile gaming media publishing outlet has finally shut down. There's a good number of companies that are currently laying off their staff members, and of course there are some interesting resources for game developers and CG artists. So like this video and subscribe if you haven't, and with that said, let's dive in. Unity 2024 keynote has just been done, and this comes with a good number of announcements. Now, before we get into the keynote and everything that you need to know, it is worth mentioning that those that are at the helm of affairs, they need to have some sort of reward, because these guys have just simply knocked this thing out of the park, with the whole keynote having lots of interesting things that will appeal to Unity users, and with Unity 6 features being announced with some interesting stuff. Now, prior to this keynote, just a couple of days back, the folks at Unity did something that is pretty interesting. One of the top stories within this month revolves around Unity working back on its controversial runtime fee. Now, we remember sometime in September of 2023, Unity did introduce the runtime fee policy that simply charged developers based on the game installed once certain thresholds were met. This change earlier this year, sometime in January 2024, sparked a lot of controversies due to its retroactive nature applying to existing games. Developers, especially in the indie space, feared this could result to an unexpected cost, especially for free-to-play games with high download volumes. And this instantly led to a whole lot of backlash from the community, because definitely there would be bad actors trying to do install bombing, where malicious actors could just go in, inflate install count, and burden developers with fees which Unity was charging. And despite Unity's attempts to clarify the policies, stating that charity games, demos, and subscription services would be exempt, the backlash did persist, and there was a lot of developers that threatened to leave Unity for most tools like Godot and Unreal Engine, which is definitely what has caused the spike of Godot engine being in the limelight lately. And this damaged Unity's reputation and leading to a decline in its stock price. Of course, they've gone ahead to do some PR stuff, made some changes within the administration of stuff, but this didn't reinstall the trust that the community had. And now, 1 year afterwards, just sometime a few days ago, the folks at Unity are back on track as they've just announced a revert on the runtime policy and confirmed that it would go back to its previous seat-based subscription model. This change is aimed at regaining the trust within the community, and this was done right on time for the Unity 2024 Unite Barcelona. And this introduced some significant advancements, which is most notably for the upcoming release of Unity 6, like we mentioned earlier. Unity 6 is poised to be released on October the 17th of 2024, and this version of Unity is poised to provide developers with enhanced tools for customizable graphic rendering, simplified multiplayer game development, and web browser optimization. And all of these are technically aimed at delivering high performance and stability. Some other interesting features that was also announced within the Unity 2024 keynote that will be coming to Unity 6 include some key features like the high definition rendering pipeline HDRP, which is having a good number of improvements. Data-oriented technology stack known as DOT is also having improvement for scalability, and Sentis is definitely going to be coming, as Sentis is designed from the ground up to support various platforms and integrate fully with Unity's system. Overall, Sentis has been built to help bridge the gap between AI and game development, making it easier for developers to enhance their project with advanced machine learning capabilities. And with Unity 6, developers can expect a better control over visuals and more stable updates aimed at reducing disruption during game creation. There's also future plans of bringing some interesting updates to Unity 6.1, which will be coming sometime in April of 2025. And the update would include support for different devices, which include foldable screens, larger display format, and a new GPU-driven rendering technique like Deferred Plus. And during the keynote, there was a couple of presentations, and one notable presentation was the cinematic demo of Time Ghost, and this showcased Unity's real-time rendering and physics system. This demo highlighted Unity 6's capability to manage large-scale scenes with up to 12 million vegetations, instances, and sophisticated hair and cloth simulations, demonstrating the engine's power to creating complex and realistic environments. And with all of this advancement and achievement, Unity 6 seems to be designed to streamline development while maintaining high visual fidelity. Now, with runtime fee no longer there and Unity 6 being poised to be released sometime in October, only time will tell if most of the developers that jumped ship from Unity to other DCC tools and engines would make a comeback now that the runtime fees are no longer there, with Unity 6 coming out soon. Epic Games Fab Content Place is set to launch in mid-October 2024, and this would revolutionize the digital content creation landscape, as this new intended innovative platform aims to consolidate several existing services into one comprehensive ecosystem, and this includes Unreal Engine Marketplace, Sketchfab Store, Quixel.com, ArtStation, and so on. And by doing this, Fab promises to streamline the process of buying, selling, and sharing digital content, catering to a diverse set of creators across multiple platforms, as it signifies the shift in how digital assets are managed and also distributed. By unifying multiple platforms like this, Fab seeks to provide a one-stop solution for creators, enabling them to reach broader audience and yet simplifying their workflow. So instead of creating an asset, uploading them in several places, you can simply upload this in one place and get this distributed to multiple tools. As this new marketplace is poised to support various DCC apps, which includes Unreal Engine, of course, Unity, Blender, Adobe Substance 3D apps, and so much more. As far as the content that you're uploading is supported across different apps, you will be able to download it and get started with it. It's also worth mentioning that once this gets launched in October of 2024, this will definitely mark the end of all of these standalone marketplaces. So Unreal Engine Marketplace, Sketchfab, Quixel, and all that will totally come to an end once this gets launched, as the consolidation into Fab aims to offer a more cohesive and user-friendly experience. And prior to the launch, the Fab publishing portal is currently available, allowing creators to start submitting their content and also start their migration. So with what we have, the early access was definitely an essential step for creators who would like to establish their presence on the platform before it officially begins to go public. And despite the fact that your assets will be accessible to 1,000 and more, there are certain benefits that is also attached to this, which includes financial incentive for early adopters. So publishers who contribute content to Fab standard license will enjoy 100% revenue share all the way to the end of 2024. This unprecedented offer definitely will allow lots and lots of creators to proceed with putting all of their stuff that they have from these other mentioned platforms right into Fab. And at the end of the year, Fab will revert to the standard revenue model, where creators will definitely get 88% of their revenue, with 12% going to Epic Games. AI seems to be something that is increasing, especially in the gaming industry, and concerns are being raised by digital artists and so on. Fab's approach to this licensing seeks to address these concerns by giving creators a greater control on how their works gets to be used in the area of AI. So if you're an artist or probably you're a creator and you have products on both Unreal Marketplace, Sketchfab, Quixel, and so on, this might just be the right time for you to start migrating, as this is definitely coming full circle. Something else which is also making a lot of wave at this point is the simple fact that once Fab gets launched, every single thing that you've got on Quixel totally becomes available for everyone for free. So at this point, you can simply, get Quixel and start working with it, as Quixel is currently free for all Unreal Engine users, but not entirely free for everyone outside Unreal. And of course, we do know that this is the situation of Quixel since 2019, when Megascans became free for Unreal users. And of course, for users working with tools like Blender, Maya, Unity, and so on, you had to pay to actually use these tools. But something that is pretty interesting is there was a little bit of a confusion when this was announced. The first confusion was that this was totally free, which means people working with other third-party tools like Unity and Blender was able to simply go ahead, download, and work with. But that doesn't seem to be the case, as Tim Sweeney has mentioned that all Megascans will be free from when Fab gets launched to the end of 2024. So at that time, you can get them for free within that time frame and use them forever, just like you have with free games from Epic Games. So I kind of think that the misconception here, a lot of people kind of think that the licensing was not open for everyone to use, but it sort of looks more like when it goes live, then Megascan will be available for everyone to use under the Fab standard license up until the end of 2024. So just in case you like to grab all of the Megascan stuff, then you might want to wait until that time so you can be within the license. However, there's a couple of developers and creators that have also made some scripts which is currently on GitHub, which you can use to automatically get every single thing that currently exists on Quixel. So I don't know, there should be a fine line within these things, but for those who like to see these ones as well, then I'm going to link that in the description too. And speaking about assets that you can get, the Unreal and Unity Asset Giga Bundle from the folks at Lizard Studio is making a comeback, and this comes with a lot of Megapack. So currently, this comes with 61 items, and all 61 items right here, from environment all the way to sound effects to VFX to lots of assets that you can get, and even characters that you can work with. A 60% discount code from the folks at Lizard Studio is now available for you to come through and grab for 28.10 or 33.10 euros. Now, to get all of this by default is going to be costing you about 3,198 euros. Now, this doesn't only come with all of these packs, you also got some tools that you can work with. So from the ultimate level tool, which you can use to do some very cool level design, all the way to some material design tools that you can also work with. These are right here. There's also this very interesting tutorial that you can also learn with, and for those that are looking for object distribution tools, these tools are also available and you can get started with it as well. Now, these are not the only things that you can get from the folks at Humble Bundle at this point, as if you're looking for more stuff that has to do with Unreal Engine, then the Townscape Essential is also available. These are nanite enabled assets and you can simply come through and grab all 52 items for a fraction of the price. So all of these assets, retro asset, some very interesting modular asset, all of these assets are currently available, and with 23.08 or 28.08 euros, you'll be able to get all of these as compared to spending 1,482 euros to get them. And this one is currently running out, so simply come through and grab this if you can. At the same time, the Best of Blender Market is currently available, and this comes with a ton of things. And right now, this has 31 items that you can simply come through and grab. And all of the add-ons that you get here are the best of 2024 from Blender Market. And I get to guarantee you that most of these add-ons are add-ons that you should definitely have. So from Carburetor all the way to Realistic Touch to the Physical Ocean Tool, all the way down to True Sky, to Physical Celestial Object, Human Generator for creating those characters that you've always wanted to make in Blender, down to Hard Ups for making hard surface modeling, and to Flip Fluid for creating fluid simulation. These are now available and you can simply get them for 32.19 or 27.19. At the same time, you've also got this beautiful Game Art in Blender 2024, which is more like a tutorial to get you started with learning cool stuff in Blender. So if this is also something that interests you, you probably would like to come through and read up on this. And for those working with Godot, there is also a ton of things that you can learn if you want to get started with working with Godot. So Godot 4.3 now has a complete course bundle that offers a lot of things from the folks at Zenva. So if you're thinking about creating visual shaders, you're trying to optimize Godot, or probably you just want to get started with creating a combat system, a first-person shooter, all of these are now available and you can get started with it at this point. And if you're into sound, then the Audio Alchemy is also a very cool one that is now here. This comes with a ton of stuff. So from plugins that you can work with all the way to various sound and music packs that you can play with, these are now available. Now, we've talked about Ovani before, and it's pretty cool to see that Ovani has also come back with some more stuff. So from Unity plugin all the way to Unreal Engine, down to Godot, all the way to Minecraft, you do have plugins for both the music and the frequency linking. So if you want to get these as well, you might want to save up the buck and purchase these things at this point. It is also worth mentioning that for those who are looking for more stuff, like more audio sounds, then you might want to consider taking a look at the IK Pro Sound Suite, which has a lot of things to offer. And this was just recently announced. And for those who like to read up on some stuff, then you might want to consider taking a look at the ebook library bundle that is now available for Unreal Engine 5, Unity, and Godot. This is currently tagged Unreal Engine 5, as it does cover a lot of things that has to do with cinematic photorealistic environment and Unreal Engine. However, Unreal Engine isn't the only thing that you'll be getting with this 20 item bundle. This also covers a couple of interesting things for those working with Unity and for those working with Godot. However, Unreal Engine seems to be the major thing that this currently covers, and for those who like to learn, or probably you like to have an ebook copy, maybe a reference copy to animations, animatics, and all that stuff, then you can come through and grab this for an extreme fraction of the price as compared to making a full purchase of this particular stuff. So for all of those that would like to get this, links to this is going to be in the description, and of course a huge shout out to Humble Bundle and all of the creators for making this possible. Dragon Game Engine has received an interesting update as version 1.23 has been released. This modular open source game engine stands out for its flexible design and customization with varying open modules. Sometime last month we got an update to version 1.22 and version 1.23 has just been rolled out, and this update introduces new features and improvements that enhances game development, including better middleware integration. For developers working with character models like motion capture, version 1.23 improves support for motion capture calibration, advanced hand tracking features, and VR interface improvement. These updates are designed to streamline the creation of more immersive and interactive experiences, particularly in VR-based projects. One of the major highlights of this particular release includes the service module system, and this allows integration for various external platforms like Steam, Epic Online Services, Microsoft GDK, and Mode.io, as these modules enable auto-login, statistics, achievement handling, and account linking for games deployed through these services. And currently, Steam, Epic Online Services, Mode.io are fully supported, while Microsoft GDK modules is currently pending due to some ongoing legal discussions. And in addition to all of this interesting update, there's some enhancements to the modding support that now introduces a UI panel for easy mod management and dynamic attachable elements behavior, which allows developers to modify elements behavior at runtime, as this creates a flexible system for game behavior design, offering a cleaner and reusable gameplay element. This update overall addresses performance and usability, as it caters to developers looking for an open source alternative to larger game engines. Of course, we've seen several engines like Godot, but Drag Engine Game Engine is one that you might want to consider exploring as well. And in interesting development, Cyberver has recently unveiled its AI-based 3D world creation platform, and this is designed to democratize and streamline 3D content development. It is quite interesting to see what this platform does, as it simply allows creators to use AI tools for generating 3D assets, which allows creators to build environments like terrains and maps. And this significantly reduces the time and resources traditionally required to do these things, as it also integrates cloud-based solution, enabling collaborative creation across multiple devices, which might be super useful for teams. And this platform seems to be prioritizing ethical use of AI and ensuring licensed content and assets are used responsibly. Now, the idea for ethical use of AI is something that would require a good level of trust for a lot of people to jump on, and that is one of the things I'll tell you to do an independent research for while trying to get onto this. And at the time of recording, this is currently in beta. So for those who like to join this, you can simply go over to the link in the description, come right here, join the beta, and of course you can also join their Discord. And currently this works with Unreal Engine and Unity. It is also worth mentioning that within the demo you can also see that with this you can generate your scenes right inside of Unreal Engine, and with Unreal Engine assets you can easily start making your own playable realistic worlds in a couple of minutes, as this also works with assets that exist within the marketplace, and hopefully once Fab gets published this might also work alongside Fab. It is also worth mentioning that this offers some cool features like Sketch to 3D previews for creating the environment and a diverse set of asset options for creating an entire map that you're trying to make. And in essence, Cyberver's platform simply aims to make 3D content creation like terrains and maps more accessible and efficient to lots of creators, as it harnesses the power of AI to democratize the process and drive some sort of innovation across multiple industries like the gaming, television, and virtual production. Electronic Arts, EA, is leveraging AI to transform its gaming development process, as it's integrating machine learning technologies to streamline animation, design, and player interaction. Now, EA is looking at using AI-driven tools to automate the creation of dynamic game environment and realistic character movement, at the same time reducing manual efforts required by developers to do all of this. This in turn would cause some job losses for sure, but EA Sports franchise already has been using some interesting AI tools to simulate real-world behaviors and enhancing responsiveness of NPCs, in turn creating a more impressive gameplay experience. Outside the whole use of development, they're also thinking about using this to improve gameplay mechanics. So what they're currently looking at is exploring AI's potential to personalize gaming experiences by simply analyzing the player's behavior and preferences. So what the AI systems that they're trying to put in place in some of the games that might be coming out soon is the fact that they can now use this to either tailor the experience of each user, so you get to play the same game but most probably not the same difficulty level, or using this as a means of giving in-game strategies. So maybe if you're not so good at playing the game, your difficulty level might be lesser, with the AI suggesting some in-game strategies, but if you're a professional gamer, they might possibly just have the full vanilla taste of what the game is meant to be like. Now, there should be a striking balance between equity and equality in this case. The idea behind this is that the company is trying to use this to sort of push the boundaries of player engagement and immersion. And here's something that's pretty interesting. Campfire, a San Francisco startup company, has just recently raised $3.95 million to advance its generative AI game engine called Sprite. Now, the platform would allow developers to create AI-driven agents with emotions and memories, and these AI-driven agents will be capable of interacting with players in meaningful conversational ways. And the idea behind this technology is to significantly enhance players' engagement by introducing personalized, emotionally intelligent companions. And this is a little bit wild because, the whole idea here is for you to be able to game, right? Like when you're gaming, get some directions, those would be cool. But at this point, they're looking at giving you AI agents that you can have literal conversations with. And this is more like ChatGPT on steroids, but at this point, you're kind of playing with it. Now, Campfire has showcased this game called Cozy Friends, which highlights these features by allowing players to literally bond with AI characters in a customized immersive environment. And this is already something that I think a lot of investors are beginning to back up. Actually, some developers have started picking this up. This tool is just simply designed to support the creation of, AI native games and media content to adapt to players' behavior and preferences. And that is where, I kind of think that the thing with behavior, it's a gray area. And I don't know how many people will sort of like that. However, Campfire continues to expand all of this, and its vision is to make Sprite the leading platform for generative AI in the gaming and entertainment industry. The gaming industry since 2023 all the way to 2024 have been marked by significant layoffs and closure. We did an entire video talking about how massive this was last year and reflecting on a broader economical challenge. The closure of Touch Arcade after 16 years highlights the difficulties even long-standing gaming media outlets faces. This website for publication was established in 2008 and sought to cover the then emerging mobile gaming market. Known for its comprehensive coverage of mobile games, had struggled to remain financially viable due to the changes of the mobile gaming market and declining ad revenues. This closure is emblematic of how shift in gaming ecosystem has directly affected adjacent sectors including journalism and media. And one would actually think that these things would only affect, game companies. But on the other hand, media outlets are also beneficiaries of these things, and it seems to be affecting them as well. And in parallel to this, UK nDreams, a leading VR studio, recently announced layoffs, and this is affecting 17.5% of its workforce. And despite the studio's success in creating massive VR games experiences and partnership with major companies like Meta, it had to bite the bullet and cut off staff due to scaling challenges in the VR market. And this of course also goes ahead to underscore how even innovative sectors like VR, which many had hoped would be a growing area within the gaming industry, have experienced setbacks and is not to market fluctuation. I do think that working towards augmented reality rather than virtual reality might just be the best way forward. Last but not the least, within the job cutoff section, Microsoft has just recently announced a laying off of 650 staff members within its gaming division, as this has impacted studios like 343 Industries, popularly known for its Halo franchise, and also ZeniMax Media. And ZeniMax Media is definitely the parent company for several major studios, which includes Bethesda, Arcane, and ID Software. And these companies have definitely created some interesting stuff like Starfield, Fallout 4, Redfall, Prey, Elder Scrolls Online, and also Doom, as this follows an earlier layoff and reflects on ongoing reconstruction within the Microsoft gaming branch. Despite having a massive resource, even major industry players like Microsoft are looking at trimming down their workforce, and this is likely due to priorities shifting and some economical pressures. And one can actually think that economical pressures are just the only thing influencing this, but some will also argue that the advent of artificial intelligence has actually contributed to more layoffs, and that might not be far-fetched. So this is it. Tell us what you guys think about this one in the comment section. We're currently exploring the game development side of things, as this is closely related to what we have within the 3D artistry creative side of the CG community. We're currently working on scheduling and also testing out the waters to see how this would be received by the community as well. Of course, we'll continue making independent videos, but we're currently looking at making a more compound video which would encompass more updates that flies under the radar and potentially some of the ones that you might be fully interested in but may have not been covered over the weeks. And of course, a huge shout out to the channel members and patrons for making this possible. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.